Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. My name is Cyndy. Thank you very, very much for being here. I'm doing a mini today and I'm doing it on Epstein. So, this is why. I noticed that there have been a couple of YouTubers who have revisited the Jeffrey Epstein situation, and they can't quite get a handle on what's going on with him. They can't see him as actually having passed, but they also are not actually seeing him alive. And since, as a human, those really are our own two options. I want to take a look. Now, I have said before on record that I believe the reason that we can't get clarity on what's going on with this fella, I actually think that he still breathes, but I believe he's brain dead. I think that the hanging somehow could have impaired oxygen delivery, and I don't know why he's being kept alive. If in fact he is, this is for entertainment purposes only, of course, and allegedly, but it feels as if he's neither here nor there. Um, this does not even feel like a coma. It feels like just not there. Blank. Alrighty, that's what I know. So let's throw out some cards and see if we can get any further clarity on what's going on with Donald Trump's very, very good friend, Jeffrey Epstein. And let's not forget, I think, I'll probably see if the cards have anything that they would like to say with regards to Trump, Melania, and Jeffrey. So let's just take a peek and see what we can find out with regards to Jeffrey Epstein, his relationship with Trump, and Melania. I'm just going to go there. Okay. So Epstein, Melania, Trump, Epstein, Melania, Trump, Epstein, Melania, Trump. So definitely it's sort of looking like there's not huge love lost between Mrs. Trump and her husband. Things look really frosty. And so there's that. Her mother has passed away. That's a difficult situation. It really is. So there's no question. Probably going through a bit of a hard time. Okay. What Jeffrey Epstein allegedly delivered to his friends and clients was emotional highs, emotional satisfactions. Okay, so you have somebody older who is, having a heck of a time with a 17-year-old. It is about feeding the ego. It is about emotional fulfillment and satisfaction. I'm not discounting the sexual satisfaction that was connected to that, because that would be foolish to try to disconnect it. But what I'm saying is that satisfaction then feeds into this emotional ego building kind of energy. That's what he was about. He figured out what human beings, what men in particular, were really interested in fantasizing about and feeling and exploring and expanding. So that was just it. Melania is about security. Every time Trump's political career shifts somehow, she's redoing her prenuptial agreement for a better deal. Can't blame her. I do it too. But her focus is on safety and security. All right. Now, I am not going to get into a discussion about right or wrong, whether, given the country that she came from, that may not have been a bad exit strategy to try to figure out, how to, um, get herself sort of situated in another country in a prosperous situation. But her focus is money and security. Okay. And even the security is about, like, even when she's looking for security, she's also, eh, um, it, even when she's looking at the money, it's because of the security she's seeking. Say it that way. Now, they knew each other. Jeffrey and her knew each other. There was a situation where there was something that he had a client who was looking for. Somebody young and nibble would make him look good on his arm. And frankly, in some ways, somebody almost as transactional as he is. Um, because then Trump really, oops, I didn't mean to say that. Then he um, would not really have to worry about people's feelings. Okay. Like he kind of is at a point where it was just, well, okay, it has always been about him and he doesn't actually care about anybody's feelings. But he was looking for a situation where any upset or discontent would be kept away from him. Like it just wasn't going to be an important part of the marriage. So somewhere along the line, he was like, okay, I'm not marrying for love anymore. I'm marrying for convenience. I'm marrying because it looks good, etc. And that was something that his friend was able to help him facilitate. So yay. So now, I'm not getting any indication here that she may have been employed necessarily, but there was definitely a very strong triangle of energy. I'll say it that way. And what I'm getting energetically is she, because her focus was on money and security and safety, she wasn't that picky about who that person might be. But understand this on a fundamental and basic level, the two of them are very, very similar. Okay. It's not like she is some, little hothouse flower who, I'm going to use the Princess Diana situation again. This is what they're giving me. I got to go with it. It's very easy to believe that Diana was absolutely head over heels in love when she got married. It's also equally easy to believe that Charles was not. This is not that situation. It is not like she was full of love and dreamy and butterflies when she got together with, her future husband, who then somehow, through a lot of unfortunate events, ended up being like president. But anyways, I digress. She was in a place where she was also in a very, very transactional kind of mindset, even as far as having a child. It was, I'm not saying it wasn't something she wanted. She did want it, but there was always a secondary reason or purpose behind it. I'll say it that way. So there was this legal document that was created, like a marriage contract. And that has created a sort of, I'm sorry, but a marriage of, two lower vibrational people who have clumped together and basically, um, have been there for each other according to the contract, basically. Now, she is getting a little bit tired. She really is. Okay. And she wants, um, she for sure does not want him to end up in the White House again. Um, and she continues to spend her time and energy trying to figure out how to continue to distance herself from him and the situation. Right now, there's this sort of juggling effect. She's trying to get things sorted out because she is being impacted in a significant way by his court cases. I mean, certainly the Carol one, and it has to be just crazy making for her to see that money that she's sort of somehow connected to, could possibly be entitled to, um is getting thrown out the window because her husband cannot figure out how to shut the hell up, and every time he opens his mouth he is in fact um defaming her, which is exactly why he's in court in the first place. Okay, so it's just like that kind of stuff makes her crazy, and she finds it much easier to just simply be away from him. um there's a lot that she's taking into consideration now. She truly, with all of her heart, she wishes that he had never made that run. Okay, there was a part of her that really fantasized about her being the kind of the Republican um president's wife. She sort of fashioned herself after, Jackie Kennedy. Like, I don't know on what planet she thought there was an equivalency there, but just my opinion. In any case, so what we have is this interesting triangle. And the thing that what I'm being told is that even once that union was sort of established, the relationship with Jeffrey, particularly between the two guys, didn't diminish. It carried on. It carried on, and that is where you see this sort of this serial cheater, right? Connected to the Jeffrey Epsteins and the tabloids who were catching and killing stuff, and right, it was like a really well-known kind of energy or secret within the circles that they kind of traveled in. So where we're at right now, energetically, please, is Trump is perfectly content for her to stay somewhere else right now. He doesn't need her around until, and when he does, then he will call her out of hiding and tell her to get on the campaign trail. um he is feeling more weighed down. um he has his moments, right? He has his moments where he peaks, right? Like the Iowa caucus win, right? He peaks, gets excited, but it no longer sustains him for very long because, there then becomes an avalanche of things coming at him that are not going his way, like judges saying, forget it. Yeah, no, we are holding on to that gag order, buddy boy. You need to keep your mouth shut. All right. So there's that kind of stuff. For every win, there seems to be 3 or 4 hits. So that's kind of where he is, and the constant talk and chatter about his diminishing cognitive capacity is really starting to make him cranky. And of course, the more angry he becomes over it, the worse it becomes. And so at this point, he's telling his own story, right? I mean, nobody has to start trying to figure out what could be going on. And it doesn't matter what name you give it. The reality is there is some significant cognitive mental decline going on there. And that's all that really, you need to know. So the people around him, hey, they got their hands full. He's up, he's down, he's all over the place. And he doesn't make sense. Okay. And Epstein, as I move into his energy, man, it is blank. He's not gone into the light. He's not actively alive here on Earth. But for some reason, um, there's just this heavy, dark, blank feeling. And for those of you who may be thinking to yourselves, oh, well, that's good. He just means he's gone to hell. That's not what that means. This is a blank energy. So for anybody who's interested, my interpretation is not alive, or alive, but intellectual loss, brain dead. Why he's being kept alive, that I don't know. All right, that's what I know. Don't forget to send in your questions for Pendulum Friday, and I will see you then. Until then, take care and be well.